What's up again, guys? Yeah, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dovahkiin, and welcome to my first car vlog. Well, this is primarily a gaming channel, but of course having other content is healthier. Besides, apart from gaming, this is one of my few passions in life. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Okay, a short background. To begin with, I'm not a car expert. I'm just your average car enthusiast for nearly a couple of decades now. Anyway, our family is a patron of the Toyota brand. Because if I may say, Toyota equals reliability. Anyhow, our first Toyota was a green 1983 Corolla sedan, or the T130 series. By the way, this is not its picture, and I can't find any in old albums. And that one got sold in my early teens, so I wasn't able to play with it. Next is my dad's 99 Corolla, the AE111, known locally as the Love Life, which was my first project, and my goal was the JDM look, or Japanese domestic market. Though my enlightenment with cars came in the era of the first Fast and the Furious movie, I wasn't in too deep with the extreme street style, because my car club, Club AE, short for auto enthusiasts, which is actually a double entendre for the Corolla's famous body code. And I'm certain you're familiar with Takumi's Trueno, or simply the AE86, Hachiroku in Japanese, which is kinda in the same family. By the way, most of us drive Corollas, hence the club's name. Anyway, I was nurtured with the old school 90s way of dressing up cars, the semi-purist approach. By the way, I think a real car purist would only change the rims. As per our approach, I can't really put it in a category, purist type 2 maybe, so let's just go with semi. Anyhow, in the distant past, manufacturers designed the cosmetic variants of each model based on the road guidelines of three major regional markets: Japan, hence JDM, the Americas, or USDM, and Europe, EUDM, or simply EDM. But now that's a common acronym for a genre of music, so we'll stick with EU. Anyway, going back to my AE111, I've chosen JDM because it's easy to complete, as opposed to the US and EU DMs, which require front and rear cuts. Though for some rare JDM emblems, I had to order and wait for them to get imported from Japan. The others I got from scouring local car flea markets. Last thing I did was a DIY amberizing of its blinkers. Although this is not part of the JDM, the problem with the AE111's turn signal lamps is that the clear plastic stays pristine, while the headlamps get yellowish because of natural UV damage over the years. Definitely an eyesore, so by amberizing them, the entire front looks even. By the way, I didn't opt for aftermarket rims on this one because remember, this is my dad's car, and old people, they always bang the curb when parking. Besides, whenever this comes out looking like new again from the body shop, after a month or so, he collects a new set of bumps, dimples, scratches, etc. So I just stopped modding this entirely. It's completed anyway. Alright, now we move on to my 2006 facelift Vios, the NCP42. This is the first generation of this subcompact sedan, which was only released in Southeast Asia. So, there were no Japanese, US, and European DMs. The design and engineering of this car was spearheaded in Thailand. But that is not an appealing DM to many, so they opted for JDM, USDM, and EUDM inspired setups, all of which look amazing by the way. However, as a semi-purist, I proudly went for the THDM, or the Soluna. On a side note, here in the Philippines, the NCP42 was just a Vios, but in Thailand, it was the immediate successor of the Toyota Soluna, globally known as the Tear Cell. which looks like a mini AE111. Also, the name Soluna was taken from the Spanish words sol, meaning the sun, and luna, the moon. Anyway, my goal for my NCP42 is to complete the Soluna interior, accessories and everything, and all must be as much as possible OEM, original equipment manufacturer. As per the exterior, a set of 17s, a JASMA certified chambered muff, and the original body kit of the S Sporty variant of the Soluna. By the way, all the mods I mentioned in this vid are just cosmetics. And I'm not talking about performance parts cause that's a long list. The hunt for parts took 3 years and concluded with the acquisition of the S Sporty body kit, which by the way I waited for several months because it was imported from Toyota, Thailand. And at that time, 2009, there was a political crisis there. Anyhow, instead of the body kit being color keyed, I went for black, simply because it stands out. Besides, nowadays black is a trend for the accents of new models. Which finally brings us to the subject of this vid, the 2018 Rush, aka the Baby Fortuner. On a side note, there's already a facelift Rush released in Malaysia, known as the R Blade, because it comes with that body kit style, and perhaps soon in Indonesia as well. But I think Toyota rushed that in those countries to further distinguish it from the Daihatsu Terios, of which the Rush is actually its 3rd gen. By the way, Toyota fully acquired Daihatsu in 2016. Here in the Philippines, we never had the Terios. So the 2018 Rush is a new SUV in the lineup, which was launched in May last year. Anyway, its competitors here are the Honda BRV, which is more classic styled, and the Mitsubishi Expander, which narrowly takes the overall cake on reviews that compared the 3 vehicles on multiple aspects: performance, cost, features, etc. As per its style, I do graphics design, and if I may say, I'm not a fan of the Expander's looks, especially that face, although that design looks perfectly brilliant on the new Strada. Going back to my Rush, yes, I just picked it up from the dealer earlier. As per the variant, I chose the E manual transmission because frankly, wheelmen use 3 pedals, and of course, paddle shifters too. You don't want to anger the semi-automatic guys, right? But seriously, I went for the 5-speed manual, because the automatic is only 4-speed, and when you're on the freeway cruising at 100 kph or more, your RPM is gonna be way beyond 3k for sustained periods of time, which I think is bad for the 1.5 engine. By the way, all variants have the same engine. In relation, my NCP42 has a slightly smaller engine. That is why I know the significance of having more gears when you don't have big displacement. At those cruising speeds, the 5th gear stabilizes the RPM just between 2 and 3k. Anyway, these are all the differences between the G and E variants. Most of them are just minor, but I'm gonna touch on the substantial ones. First is the sitting capacity. The E doesn't have the last row for 2. That would have been the perfect seat for my 2 daughters, as grandma and grandpa take the middle row, so I opted to add it. Not cheap, by the way, cost nearly the same as a new set of rims. Anyhow, some reviews mention that the last row is just for small kids, but my daughters have grown into giants, and I stand 5'10", but I don't feel cramped sitting there. You just have to slightly push the mid-row forward to get ample legroom. And to begin with, the mid-row has plenty of space to accommodate adjustments. Next, the rims. I'm thinking of 19s, but this really depends on the availability of reasonably priced tires, for whichever size I pick. So maybe 18s will do cause that's a more common size, but not anytime soon. Gotta fully use up the stock first, perhaps early next year. Besides, I blew the budget on the seats already. Well, maybe I'll ask my wife to fund it. After all, she'll be the one using this car. Yes, this is for her. Third is the non-existent roof rail, which is definitely a minus on aesthetics, but I can live with that. As per the missing back monitor, that's for noobs. I fully trust my wife's driving skills. By the way, I think the back sonar is already overkill. Now on the cosmetics project, the TRD Sportivo. Rather than going for any traditional DMs, in this day and age, manufacturers already offer optional OEM mods. Besides, if I'm gonna go for a DM, the only viable route is the Malaysian Rush with the R-Blade facelift, which I mentioned earlier. But can you even compare that with TRD? For us Toyota guys, TRD is the holy grail of OEMs, so this was an obvious choice. The fun in modding your ride lies in the persistent hunt for parts. That's the reason why the extensive amount of research, scouring, and sleepless nights evolved from misery to tolerable, then finally to bliss. However, for my rush, I felt lazy, and I just went for the full TRD Sportivo body kit in one fell swoop. Won't tell exactly how much, but including the last row of seats, more than a G variant. Anyway, to note a few things, let's begin with what I omitted. The side window deflectors / rain guards. Though this would benefit me cause I can smoke while raining, I didn't get it cause aesthetically for me, it ruins the sleek window and roof lines. By the way, although this is included in the model for the TRD variant ads, it is not TRD and is only listed as a normal OEM accessory. Next is what I still lack, the TRD leather seat covers. I found this in the TRD Rush of Indonesia. Not sure whether it comes with a full TRD package or an optional part as well. If I can't find the exact one with the red C-like lines at the sides, I'll settle for the red stitching. But of course, it must have the bold red TRD logo. Back to the exterior. There are black TRD Sportivo decals at the sides, though I'm not sure if that is painted or in vinyl. Doesn't matter cause I already have the original vector file for this one, and it's just a matter of bringing it to a local printing shop. Okay, my throat is hurting, so I'm just gonna update you guys when I install a new mod. And that is all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also check out other videos from Sabbath Clan Philippines and subscribe. See ya on my next vid. Peace out, y'all.